Good news, Ravens fan. A super important update just came in about Kyle Hamilton's health status. After a huge scare with his injury in the last game, everyone was on edge, waiting to find out what would happen. And now, finally, we have news that could change everything for the Ravens as we approach the final stretch of the season. You won't want to miss this detail, as it could have a huge impact on the team moving forward. Stay with me until the end, and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Go Ravens! Imagine this, fan. During the game against the Bengals, we were celebrating an important win, and then something nobody expected happened. Kyle Hamilton, one of our key defensive players, went down on the field and needed help to leave. It was a scare for everyone because the first impression was that it could be a serious injury, something that could take him out for the season. That kind of moment that makes your heart race and leaves everyone holding their breath, you know? But luckily, the news that came afterward was much better than we expected. Coach John Harbaugh explained that Hamilton only suffered an ankle sprain, nothing more serious like a tear. Since then, he's been getting treatment over the weekend, and Harbaugh made it clear that the team is optimistic. This quick recovery from Hamilton gives us hope that he'll return soon and help the Ravens' defense stay strong, especially with the crucial games coming up that will determine the direction of the season. And this return could be much faster than we thought. With the possibility of him being back for the next game, Hamilton's return would be a huge boost for the team. Having him on the field makes all the difference for the Ravens' defense, especially at such a critical time in the season. After all, we're talking about a game that could decide the AFC North leadership, and that's where his role becomes even more crucial. Kyle Hamilton has been a key player for the Ravens' defense this season. In just 10 games, he's already tallied 71 tackles, shown great coverage in pass defense, and forced important turnovers. That mistake against the Browns, when he dropped an interception, is an isolated instance that doesn't take away from the consistency and impact he's had on the team. His presence on the field is a game changer, especially for a defense that has had some ups and downs. Beyond the numbers, what makes Hamilton so valuable is his leadership on the field. He helps organize the defense, providing stability to his teammates, and that's something the team misses when he's not playing. In a secondary that has struggled at times, Hamilton is the player who keeps the defense functioning, guiding everyone to be in the right place and act at the right time. He is undoubtedly one of the pillars of this defense. If he manages to return for the next game, it would be a vital reinforcement against the Steelers, especially in such an important matchup for the season. Facing a direct division rival with a full defense increases the Ravens' chances of taking the AFC North lead, a position that could decide the team's future in the playoffs. With Hamilton healthy, the Ravens would have more control and coverage against a potent offense, improving the communication and confidence of the defense on the field. And you, do you think Hamilton is essential for stabilizing the Ravens' defense? Let me know in the comments if you believe he makes a difference on the field. Let's discuss it in the comments. If he's not ready yet, the alternatives at the position need to be up to par for such a decisive game. The game against the Steelers is, without a doubt, one of the most important of the season for the Ravens. Both teams are battling for the AFC North leadership, making this game crucial for each team's playoff ambitions. If the Ravens win, they'll have a significant advantage in the race for the playoffs. However, if they lose, they might face a tough stretch of games and see their playoff hopes threatened. The game against Pittsburgh isn't just another game. It's a showdown that could define the rest of the season. Kyle Hamilton's presence on the field could be the difference maker to secure the Ravens' victory. With his skill and experience, he not only improves the secondary, but also brings security to the entire defense. He's already shown leadership both in the locker room and on the field, and his influence would be essential against a Steelers offense that has the potential to be explosive. Even though Hamilton's situation is still uncertain, the team knows that his absence could weaken the defense, and that could be fatal in such an important game. On the other hand, if Hamilton isn't able to recover in time, the responsibility will fall on other defensive players, like Marcus Williams and Eddie Jackson. This will put even more pressure on them, as facing the Steelers without the All-Pro is a huge challenge. It will be crucial for the Ravens' defense to come together and stay strong, regardless of Hamilton's situation, to not jeopardize their chances of victory. Alright, we're past the halfway mark of the video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. That's really important for YouTube to keep recommending my content to you. And that way, I'll keep bringing more to you. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free. Thanks, and let's keep going. If Hamilton can't play against the Steelers, the Ravens' defense will face a huge challenge. The safety position is crucial because this player is responsible for covering deep passes, making tackles, and often leading the defense with adjustments and guidance. Without Hamilton, the available options don't offer the same quality or leadership. Marcus Williams and Eddie Jackson have had their struggles throughout the season, and Darius Washington, while promising, is still not at Hamilton's level. The absence of the primary player in the secondary could leave a critical opening for the Steelers' offense to exploit. The Ravens' secondary has been one of the most critical areas this year. Although it has improved at times, it still suffers from communication breakdowns and coverage issues. Hamilton, as a leader and standout player, brings stability to everyone around him. He not only contributes with tackles and interceptions, but also sets the tone for the defense, helping his teammates position themselves and adjust quickly during games. His absence would create a difficult gap to fill, especially against a team like the Steelers, who know how to exploit any weakness in the opposing defense. However, if Hamilton isn't available, it could be a testing point for the Ravens' defense. This game against Pittsburgh would be an opportunity to prove that even without one of their best players, the team can still stay competitive. The defense will need to reinvent itself to ensure that Hamilton's absence doesn't become a determining factor in the final score. Kyle Hamilton's absence could be a big challenge for the Ravens' defense, especially if he can't return in time for the crucial games. Without him, the responsibility falls on other safeties like Marcus Williams and Eddie Jackson, who have struggled during the season. While Darius Washington has shown some potential, he's still not at Hamilton's level, making the defense more vulnerable. In such an important matchup against the Steelers, the secondary will need to come together to compensate for this loss. Without the leader of the defense on the field, communication between players will be a key point. Hamilton is not only a standout player, but also a leader both in the locker room and on the field, helping organize the defense, supporting in coverage, and making quick adjustments during the game. The pressure will now be on other players to step into this leadership role and feel responsible for filling the gap left by Hamilton. The team will need a high-level collective performance to keep the defense solid and prevent the Steelers from exploiting the weakness. If the Ravens can adjust the defense without Hamilton, it could be a strong indication that the team is resilient enough to face adversity. However, Hamilton's recovery is a priority, as he will be crucial in the playoffs and the title chase. The defense will have to come together and overcome obstacles to ensure Hamilton's absence doesn't become the determining factor in the Steelers' victory. So, fan, how do you see Hamilton's recovery? The expectation is that he'll recover in time for one of the most important games of the season. But will he be 100%? Keep an eye out, because this game against the Steelers could be decisive for the Ravens' future. Let me know in the comments what you think, and let's discuss the impact this injury could have on the team. Don't miss out. The season is just heating up,